Chapter 6. Sisi and Sawa, we're the same. It was another lovely day on the island. Screech and Thud were enjoying some peace and quiet by the stream. Screech caught and ate a fish while Thud washed himself in the cool water. Both flinched and sniffed the air, seeing someone come toward them. When they saw it was Tyrannosaurus Rex, they looked him over. "What do you want?" "This isn't easy for me either, but I can't get through to her." Holding his head high, Tyrannosaurus Rex used all his energy to ask how to chomp her, win her over, get her to trust him. Not really sure. They were childhood friends. Guess they always had feelings for one another. After all, you mate with your best friend, they say. Why do you care all of a sudden? Because I need to train my heir. Let's see, there's gifts, flowers, promises you don't intend to keep. No, Screech, it must be something special. I'm not sure what, but the little biter sure knew how to win her affection. Maybe instead of asking us, you should go and talk to her. I have, it doesn't work. No, not threatening her. He means an actual conversation like we are now. But she's prey, I'm a predator. We couldn't be more different. That's why you need to think like the old boss. He saw past predator and prey, saw more to the world than any of us could imagine. It was that way of thinking that interested Mrs. Boss in the first place. Fine, I'll figure something out. Tyrannosaurus Rex grunted and walked off, leaving the pair to explore the mysterious island. He recognized it to be Chomper's domain, since he was forced into exile. It was lovely, a perfect place to live in peace. It was odd. Tyrannosaurus Rex didn't know why it mattered to him, whether the fast runner liked him or not. After all, he never needed anyone when he was alive in the past. Yet, there was something about her, something he couldn't put his claw on. Was it because he shared a body with Chomper and some of Chomper's feelings transferred over into his subconscious? Letting out a growl, Tyrannosaurus Rex shut his eyes and recalled a memory, but it wasn't his own. No, it was of Chomper's youth, along with other voices of children. I know! Let's have a giving ceremony for Ruby! And we can make it a surprise, too. Me love surprises! Wait! What's a giving ceremony? A giving ceremony is when you give someone their favorite food, duh. So what's Ruby's favorite food? I know that! It's Sweet Bubbles! With that, the memory was gone. Sweet Bubbles. Tyrannosaurus Rex said aloud, glancing around the lush land, trying to find the said food that the fast runner preferred. He spent the day trying to find the Sweet Bubbles, thinking he could use them to get on her good side. When he spotted her eating upon a clam along the shore, he strolled out. Hey! Quickly her weapon was in hand. I told you, go away, you're not welcomed. Look, I'm not here to fight. Instead, I want peace. Offering a cluster of Sweet Bubbles, he saw her eyes flicker with familiarity. I'm not Chomper. I'll never try to be. But neither of us can deny I'm here to stay. Also, the next alpha needs to be trained to be able to hold their own. I can teach her to fight. I don't need you. I'll never need you. The words struck hard, for Ruby knew that the male who stood before her was still a part of Chomper, and saying such a thing would the one she loved hear it too. If this is who you are, I don't know you anymore. Well, that makes two of us. I know not why Chomper chose you, food, a fast runner. Is this supposed to make me feel better? Let me finish, please. You think we're all the same? Well, I will take no blame. I'm not sure I want to play your little game. You've got to look past what you see. Try not to judge so easily. Believe it or not, you're a lot like me. So believe it or not, you're a lot like me. Sisi Sawa means we're the same. Sisi Sawa. I hear what you're saying, but you need to explain. Sawa. At the end of the day, it's like water and rain. Sisi Sawa, we are the same. Maybe I laugh, maybe you purr, but take a look under the skin. Deep in our hearts is what matters for sure. 'Cause we both know a higher call like every creature, big and small. The circle of life should be what's guiding us all. The circle of life will guide us all. Sisi Sawa means we're the same. So you've got your spots and I have bangs. At the end of the day, it's like water and rain. Sisi Sawa, we are the same. Sisi Sawa, we are the same. Never thought that we'd see eye to eye. I can't imagine why. It's very easy if you try. Sisi Sawa. Still to me they're brand new thoughts, not to judge you by your spots. Sisi Sawa. Sisi Sawa means we're the same. Forget about the past when there's nothing to gain. At the end of the day, it's like water and rain. Sisi Sawa, we are the same. Sisi Sawa means we're the same. Forget about the past when there's nothing to gain. At the end of the day, it's like water and rain. Sisi Sawa, we are the same. Sisi Sawa, we are the same. Sisi Sawa, we are the same. While Ruby was sure she saw a glimpse, just the smallest fragment of Chomper. Perhaps Tyrannosaurus Rex was closer to Chomper than she realized, though when they stopped and his smile faded and he drew back, her hopes were dashed. So, now that I amused you, perhaps I might see the air. He gasped suddenly when he felt a staff hit his gut. How dare you! Ruby spun her weapon and whacked him to the ground. Angrily, she pinned him with her spear. You think you can toy with me? I'd rather never see you ever again than to be around you when you're like this, when you're not the you I know. It was then Tyrannosaurus Rex noticed her eyes were moist, that she was on the verge of crying. Had he caused her so much pain being there? While he didn't care, there was a part of him that felt a tad bit of sorrow for her. I'd rather die alone than be put through more of this. I'm telling you, asking you to leave for good and don't come back, ever. What about the children? What will you tell them? As far as they know, you're away. And when the time comes and you're gone for many season cycles, I'll tell them you're dead. It'd be better if they thought you were dead than to know you're not who they remember or knew. It'd be easier for all of us. Pray, taking the easy way out. Oh! Clutching his chin, Tyrannosaurus Rex was growing tired of being pushed around by food and grabbed at her spear. Moving back, she was ready, watching him rise to his feet. If he wanted to, he could kill her, take the air and leave the stupid island. If only he could bring himself to do so, for when he tried to strike, it was as though some invisible force stopped him, kept him in place. What will it take to get you to trust me? I will never trust the likes of you. You trusted Chomper once. Why am I no different? We're the same, Sisi Sawa, right? You may be in his body, you may look like him, sound like him even, but you couldn't be more opposite. Chomper respected me, loved me, saw me as more than food. And if you only ever see me as food, then I'll only ever see you as a monster. The words, monster, they held a deeper meaning. Tyrannosaurus Rex was silent, thinking back to his actions once he gained control, that all he wanted to do was fight, prove his strength and prowess in battle, to make up for being viewed as weak. He couldn't recall everything from Chomper's past, but he knew enough Chomper was mocked, was seen as weak by his brethren. Yet in the eyes of some leaf-eaters, he was seen as a monster, the very word the fast runner called him. Is that all you see in me? You loved Chomper once, saw past his physical exterior. That's because he was brave, loyal, kind, gentle to any creature, big or small. He let good lead his heart, fought and used his teeth and claws for only defensive purposes, not to gain power. He was selfless, not selfish, was patient, was everything wonderful in the world. And now he's gone, replaced by you. I'll admit, Chomper and I are different. We were raised in one body, but for better or for worse, we're still a couple. For better or worse. Through the ups and downs and death do us part. Well, I don't know about that, but I'm here. Ruby let her weapon fall, recalling the vows she took, accepting Chomper as her husband. Yes, she would remain true to those vows, would push aside her own prejudice toward Tyrannosaurus Rex. If there was any hope of getting Chomper back, perhaps it might be through love. After all, their love connected them through time, space. No amount of distance could keep them apart. Yes, she'd try, for their sake, for the sake of the kids, for the future of their relationship. Ruby wasn't a quitter, would try, would attempt to see beyond Tyrannosaurus Rex exterior to what lay within.